Okay, I'm still here in Dundas Square. There's all the nurses and these three lovely nurses. I mean, really, all of you are beautiful human beings. And it's just touching my heart, honestly. You know, these are the nurses you want taking care of you. So this is Natasha in the middle, and you are?
Erin.
Erin. I don't know, where are you from?
I worked in Chatham.
Chatham?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I live in southwestern Ontario.
Okay, so you're 18 years a laboratory scientist. Like, look at this, people. Honest to God. It's crazy. And your name is?
Ludmila.
And you are at Humber River Hospital.
Yeah, well, I was.
You was
terminated in
Yeah.
February 3, 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And when were you terminated?
November 1st.
Okay. All right, Natasha, I'm going to get to you. This is, you can tell who you are. And then I'm gonna
Hi,
pull
I'm
on.
Natasha. I'm a medical lab tech. 8 years. Got fired from Life Labs January 20th of this year and got put on LOA December 13th of last year. It's pretty sad
Very sad.
to know that my colleagues actually kind of sold out on me and went and got the vaccine last minute because we were all band together. The lack of support from the government, lack of support from my colleagues. It's actually pretty sad, and then especially now that you have ERs closing, people are not getting proper care. Nobody has an outlet to go to, and even the people that have gotten the jab have nowhere to turn. So it's almost like they're shutting out both sides that they're trying to pin against each other.
Yeah, it's a very big picture that we're looking at. But the picture is big, as I'm sure all know. But what they are doing is impacting and destroying individual people's lives. Not just, a country or a city or a world even, but, people's lives with their children and their homes. And it's criminal, and it's sad. It's so sad.
It's really sad.
It's very sad.
And for me, I'm not one to just turn a blind eye. So once I saw lots, maybe 10, 15 patients daily coming in for blood work, doctors just give Rex out willy-nilly and say, and they know what the problem is, but hey, we'll give them a rec and they'll get some blood work. And all the blood work ends up coming back normal.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sad.
One of the things that really impacted me about the hospital situation, like really me, of saying, if I'm now scared to go into a hospital, I'm a Canadian. We don't feel normal. I don't ever feel like that. I'm like, yes, I can go in a hospital and I'm going to be looked after. It might be a longer line than I would want, a longer wait, sure. But I think I phone in for an ambulance, they'll be there. I get to the hospital, I might wait a little longer, but a lovely nurse and doctors who are going to look after me that I feel are competent. And now, it's weird to feel scared to go into a hospital. Is that strange? Yes, very strange.
Because you have like a 90% chance you're staying in there and not coming back out.
And who knows what they're giving you, and you have no rights, and
you have nobody to be your advocate.
Absolutely, that's
Nobody.
frightening, very frightening. So I just want to say, because we're online, we're videoing this, I'm going to be putting this up online on my Facebook page called Canadian Women for Freedom. Please come on, ladies, and join. You don't even have to join the group. It doesn't really matter to me, but there'll be information there. So on this initiative, mine started back when the truckers got kicked out of Ottawa, and then Neil came on the Hill and said the bikers are coming. I'm like, whoa, the women have got to be on the Hill, right? So I'm like, I just had this whole vision of the women on the Hill. And so since then, I've been working on this. And so another woman and I, Wilma, we've been collaborating, but only till the last couple of months. And we're not merged, we're just collaborating, okay. And so then she called me one day, and we're talking, and we both at the same time kind of said, we got a date for this thing we want to do, the Women on the Hill. And we both said the same thing. It's going to be September 19th, and the reason why is because that's when the House of Commons comes back into session. So they're going back to work from their summer holidays, not that we had one, but they're going to go back to work, and we are going to be there also. So the women of Canada and the men will be on Parliament Hill Monday, September 19th. They're back to work, we're coming too. We'll be with these signs, these lovely faces, all those lovely faces. Danielle will be there, and we're going to stand and say, no, you're not going to keep doing this to us and to our families and our children. No, that's the plan. Hold the line. And on September 18th, so the Sunday before, we're going to have a candlelight vigil. So it's going to be kind of like a funeral, but a vigil to say all of this sadness, all this, for the injured, the vaccine injured, the families of the vaccine injured, the divisiveness that have happened to all of us. Families are not speaking to one another. Friends, and we've lost our best friends. Like, how is that not heartbreaking?
Unfriending people, telling people you're wrong.
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to
And
any other
the government and the media are supporting this or advocating it. They're the ones that are creating this mess. And so that's the vigil. And so I, when I speak about it, and I said, this is an injury to humanity. It's a humanity.
100%.
So that's the vigil on
Not
this
even
Sunday.
only vaccine injured, but those who have been victim to medical malpractice, which could be resulting from anything to lack of staff, delayed turnaround times, which is impacted by our departments like
Absolutely.
lab, being short-staffed, being burnt out. Not even just medical malpractice, but lack of services.
Lack of
People being
services.
turned away because there's not enough.
Right. Well, we all sort of heard that, people that are like in, for cancer treatment, that's, they're not getting seen. The list goes on and on, I'm sure.
Being canceled
Surgeries.
for no reason.
Yeah, this list goes on, and then down the line you're getting, people are drinking more, people are doing drugs more. All of that end of healthcare is being, I don't even know what's
Swept under the rug as per usual.
Yeah.
I would like to add,
Yes.
because my specialty is mental health and addiction. So when we worked through the pandemic, a lot of my
When you were
patients,
sorry, that truck was loud. When you were what?
when we worked through pandemic before
okay.
vaccination, a lot of mental health patients they committed suicide because they didn't have services. They were coming and everything was closed for them. They didn't have where to go. They didn't have food banks, which they rely heavily on. They didn't have proper services in the community because everything was said like it's dangerous. We only can speak on the phone with you. We cannot see you in person. But nobody even bothered to ask those people if they have a phone, if they have access to internet. So so many young and people with so much potential committed suicide. Nobody is talking about this. And all of them had COVID. Nobody died from COVID. It was like a common flu. And the sad part that my patients, when they were coming to ER and they were testing them, they had symptoms of COVID, they were sending them back to shelters while our government was arranged these paid hotels only for people that travel and were like forced to quarantine. It's insane. It's a huge crime against humanity because what we witnessed in hospitals, it wasn't based on science. It wasn't based on ethical and proper treatment of people. It was something to collapse our healthcare system completely.
Yeah.
And even when my colleagues were receiving injection and 2 hours later were like dropping with stroke and heart attacks, I was still forced to go and get it and say, if you're not gonna get it, you're gonna be terminated. So I was like shocked and devastated that someone who came from Soviet Union and lived through communism came to another communist country.
this has to be shocking from that perspective.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
because it's exactly how I was treated in
Russia.
Ukraine.
Yeah, in
I
Ukraine.
couldn't speak my language. I couldn't speak up the truth. Even like for small things, like we were not allowed to go to church. This is how I came to Canada, and this is the future for my children.
Yeah.
I don't see any future.
This is why we're on the Hill. This is why we're saying no. We have to stand up in numbers. Like if you guys were all here, this whole thing was full of nurses, I think it would get some attention. And that's why, as you know, I'll say freedom fighters, we have to get together in numbers. And I'm trying very hard to impress upon all of us to say, if you're on this side that I think is right, if you're on this side, get down here. Get to where these rallies are. Don't, oh, well, I just, you know, no, you have to be here. You have to be here, or you will be living in Russia or North Korea or China.
Yeah.
So let's stop this. And so hopefully you ladies, and if you can't get there, you'll send somebody. But watch the live feeds. If you cannot get to Ottawa, September 19th, please, like, watch live feeds. I'm sure Danielle will be doing some. I'll do bits, and come to the vigil. Really, the vigil will be sweet. It'll be sad, but it'll be sweet. And at the end of the being sad, hopefully all that light, all that candlelight, will put up into the
all the positive energy.
you know, and say we're here and we're going to send light into this and get something new. So thanks, ladies. I just wonder if there's something else I wanted to ask you before I end this. But thank you so much. I mean, your stories. I just wanted to say from your story about, you know, people are killing themselves. You know this, but it's not out there, right? And there was a woman when I was in Ottawa for the Rolling Thunder, when the bikes were there. There was a woman there. She had her car like plastered with her son, young son, like 25-year-old sons on her car, and she had posters, and she was sadly yelling, "You've killed my boys."
It's true.
Because they could no longer get their, you know, they were, I guess, drug addicts, or, you know, and I don't know her complete story, but they could no longer get the help they were going. They couldn't go to AA meetings or NA meetings or their health care. I don't know.
services
But
were
they
closed, yeah.
both of her children killed themselves. I mean, you know, these are real stories. Yours is a real story. Mine's a real story. They're not stories, they're reports. You know, they're not stories.
I would like to add, if Trudeau, who actually allowed cannabis to be legal, I started because I'm injection nurse in mental outpatient clinic, and we started seeing huge amount of young people with drug-induced psychosis. So, and it takes a lot of education to ask, why did you start using cannabis? And they will say, it's healthy. It's legal in Canada. Don't you know this? I said, no, because when your brain is developing, it's not healthy for you. But nobody provides this education. Every single corner in my neighborhood with marijuana store.
Yes.
And
Everywhere.
now
There's
the
5
system,
in one little neighborhood.
Yeah.
and the system doesn't know how to deal with those crises, because it's a true crisis when 15, 14, 16 years old have drug-induced psychosis. And they commit suicide, they don't know.
But I'm just asking you guys just to move a couple feet over.
Oh, okay.
But like, that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to stop it. I'm just asking you guys to move a couple feet over.
We could go over there probably.
So,
But anyway, we
yes,
can continue.
This is the situation we
Yes.
have. Nobody is addressing. Doctors don't know how to deal with it. Those young people from early age on antipsychotics, absolutely unnecessary. Instead of telling them you really need to stop using cannabis because this is what killing your brain and you.
Yes.
You know, but
yeah.
the system in Canada designed is not to help people, but to promote something that often is very dangerous
Yeah.
for their health. This is the city we live in. This is a country
You can go with
we
them.
live. Pharmaceutical companies promote their products, and even if they are dangerous, doctors not allowed to speak up and
No.
to discuss. They only allowed to push it. And the moment you speak up the truth, your license will be suspended.
Yes.
This is a healthcare system we have in Canada.
Yeah. Well, every conversation we have, whether it's with the nurses or with a mom or a dad or anybody, whatever your job is, it's irrelevant. Not irrelevant. It's just, whatever your job is, whatever your position in life is, the same story equals this is a crime against humanity. This is criminal, and they're destroying humanity. They're destroying it bit by bit. Okay, we'll destroy the healthcare system. We'll destroy the small businesses. We'll destroy families. We'll rip families apart. Faith. We'll destroy every connecting point. Every connecting point in our world, they will destroy. And this is where we have to stand up and say, no, we're not doing it. If you want to kill us, then you better do it right here. Sorry for the violent, but if that's what you're trying to do, systematically kill us, then we're going to stand on the line and say, here we are. You really want to go through us? Okay.
Let's not forget that when there was in the depths of the lockdown, places like the government-run LCBO and
Yeah, they were all
and
open,
all
and the
kind
pot
of stuff,
shops, and
they were still
Yeah.
open. That was their idea of support.
yeah, those were all open.
Like everything, when big corporations were making money, nothing was law. But small business where 2 customers per day was apparently very dangerous. Yes.
So yeah, they keep all the LCBO and the pot shops, but the AA meetings are shut down, and the NA meetings are shut down. You're shut down, but they keep the alcohol going. How does that make sense? Except that the agenda is to destroy us in whatever way. So I'm going to end this video because we're at about 17 minutes, and people can't listen for that much longer. But it's really thank you, and thanks Natasha. Maybe I'll get Natasha back in.
Thank you for hearing.
Oh, absolutely. Excuse me, Teresa. Teresa, I just want Natasha back for a sec because I'm going to end, and I just want to say thank you. Okay, thanks, Teresa. So yeah, thank you. All of you. Thank you for doing this interview and chat. It wasn't really an interview; it was us all chatting here. But hopefully, we can just keep standing up and as long as we can, so that we don't have a moment where we can't anymore. We're not allowed. So
The conversation has to continue.
it has to continue.
The
So
public needs to know.
absolutely. So we
I
just got
don't
to
think
keep.
public knows
They don't
what's going
because the
on.
media aren't telling them. I say to people, certain thing. I'm like, no, I didn't know that. How could you not know that? It was true. Did you not know there was a whole lot of trucks in Ottawa? No, I think I heard something. I'm just shocked at how little people do
Or
know.
they hear the bad stuff that Trudeau
Yeah,
does. and
yeah, and it's
racist
ridiculous. Yeah, misogynist.
Yeah.
So, some of my friends said, so when we show up as women on the Hill, are we misogynists? I don't think that makes sense. So,
have a narcissist
are we
telling people.
racist? Are we
need to-
different countries? Are we, who are
We
we?
need to make a new word that incorporates misogynist. We have to create a new
Yeah, you think
word for
about
the
that.
Urban Dictionary.
You think about
We
it.
do.
Exactly.
It's your job. Okay, we'll get back to you. All right, you guys, I'm going to come pan out here and see everybody. Thank you. Yes. All right. Perfect timing. Okay, bye everybody. Thanks.